I've been mining Helium, a new cryptocurrency that you mine with radio waves, full time for over a year now. I have made thousands of dollars mining Helium on certain days. And I've also spent thousands of dollars on some other Helium miners that I still haven't even broken even on. Today, I'm just going to talk about my experience, what it's been like mining Helium then, through this whole period, and where I think it's headed. I'll never forget when my buddy Danny Greerso was like, dude, Helium, it's pretty cool, you should try it out. And Helium, I think then, I want to say it was trading at like 30 cents a coin. And I'm like, yeah, cool, like sounds cool. Man, how stupido am I to not listen to him? He's the guy that was like, dude, you like pixel art, you should probably pick up some of these CryptoPunk things. They were trading for like $200 then. Then he's like, dude, Solana, it's looking pretty cool. Solana was trading for like sub $3 then. Basically, this guy is like a guru.
Knowledge.
And this is back in 2020. Beginning of 2021, I finally got around to setting up my Helium miner that I had sitting in a box for like a month or two. Right, so I did that. And I set it up and things were fine. I can't remember offhand, I don't know, I was mining like $5-10 a day. Got a couple more in. I was mining, $10-20 a day. Pretty impressive for a device that makes no noise, uses like $5 of electricity per year. Okay, it was an absolute breeze to set up. I'll never forget the first time I set up my first Helium miner and then the several after that. So you download this app, Helium app. The app acts as your wallet and also as a way to control and monitor your Helium mining rigs. Your Helium miners are, again, basically little radios, and they create a radio wave network, they connect to others, and you get compensated for building out that network with their token. It's like a really interesting form of basically crowdfunding, right? And so I love passive income. I've been chasing financial freedom, and the biggest thing that like kind of rung true to me on that front was multiple streams of income, right? And so mining cryptocurrency is an incredible opportunity, but then even within mining crypto, you have all these different ways to mine crypto. You can set up a bunch of graphics cards, GPU mining, right? You can buy ASIC miners. These are purpose-built mining machines. They're these big silver boxes normally, and they're loud, they consume a lot of energy, but they're pretty dang profitable. And then, Helium walked in, and I'm like, yo, what's up? I like the way you looking. All right, nice and quiet. You don't cost too much, and you just seem like a good investment. So basically, Q1, Q2, I started mining. There were like 10,000 Helium miners deployed on the network. Quickly, it was 20,000, and then like the race is on. Back then, you could also hit consensus lottery, and I hit consensus a couple times before they basically took that out of the rewards rotation. I'll explain exactly what happened here in a second, but when I hit this lottery function, right, I mined a ton of Helium. At that time, worth $5,000 specifically in one day. One miner made over $5,000 in one day. Crazy. Okay, absolutely nuts. And that's when Helium was trading at, I don't know, like $8 a coin or so. And keep in mind, Helium went on to hit some pretty impressive all-time highs in the last market cycle. And in my opinion, with where Helium is going, I still think it's undervalued. But mining is less lucrative now for a couple reasons. One is they removed the consensus lottery mechanism and they enabled Helium staking for these validator nodes. Basically expensive servers you can set up and have a ton of Helium, okay? And there's a cooldown period. So last time I checked, obviously numbers change, but you need over $100,000. I think at one point you needed like $250,000 or something, like pretty nuts, just to have enough capital to set up a Helium validator node due to the HNT Helium coin requirement, right? And so these get a passive income, staking interest rate return, yes. And part of that return, or the coins that are being distributed that way, were taken from the consensus lottery mechanism that Helium hotspot miners like myself with these little devices deployed throughout no longer get. And that was a lot of fun. It created a really unique like lottery luck chance mechanism. It's almost like you were solo mining and also pool mining at the same time. And let me just tell you, that's fun, that's exciting. Personally, I don't stake helium. The risk versus rewards, not there. I've been in crypto for over 5 years, not here since the beginning, whatever, but I've learned a lot. And basically, I don't like to lock up my coins for too long because markets are crazy and I crypto every day. So I'm trying to, time these markets the best I can and do the classic sell high and buy low. Easier said than done, newbie, but I'm interested to see you try. So back to the story here. The original miners, the Helium OG hotspots, very cool, and they did a lot of their branding initially. They moved away from it some, but they did a lot of their initial branding around these, which is really cool and unique. And at this point, it's funny, they're like collector's items. I'll never get rid of my OG hotspot. I think it's so freaking cool. I still have my OG hotspot deployed. It has still maintained its uptime through this entire period. It's been rock solid. It's been one of my best Helium hotspot miners. But I guess that'll be my next subject, is manufacturers, right? Because Helium basically said, okay, we're going to charge you a fee to make miners and get on our network. You cannot DIY Helium miners. Previously you could, but they said, nope, people are gaming that. Or that's what they said, which was definitely true to a degree. But anyway, they wanted to retake some more control over their network for better and worse. There have been some manufacturers that have done an awful job. Some of them have threatened me with court just for telling the truth. But let me just tell you that SPNA, they said they would ship miners in May 2021. Most people I know of have still not even received their miners or a refund in May 2022. Same thing with Syncrobit, who are the ones making the miners for SPNA. Nebra has done an absolutely awful job on their hotspot miner deliveries, but they are still pushing forward. You can see they've completely even changed their design to get different parts and components and try to fulfill these orders. Whereas some others have done an incredible job in comparison, like Bobcat, which is why we've been such a big proponent of the Bobcat Helium miner. They were the first manufacturer to come to market with big manufacturing capabilities and actually delivered. They did get backed up, and they still are working through their orders, but they are doing the best job by far. And basically, they're just not scammy like a lot of these other manufacturers are. You wonder what kind of criteria did Helium Inc. use to approve this? Do you know that Helium and the parent company that they've rebranded to, what is it, Nova Labs now, Unicorn? Yeah, $1 billion. That's a lot of money. A lot of new manufacturers have popped up. It's a money-making opportunity. Some of them have done a good job, right? So for example, like Panther showed up and I was super skeptical, but they've been delivering on their miners. And they claim to still have stock that's ready to ship. And I'll drop some links below if you want to support the channel and order any of these miners, but I'm not here to push stuff on you, just to be very clear. If anything, I'd love if you would even just subscribe to the channel. My name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Tails, the cutest helium miner in the world. And yeah, I'm the host. I work here sometimes. And yeah, but in all seriousness, right, so some newer ones have popped up and been doing a decent job. Then some other like semi-new ones have popped up, and honestly, they've been doing terrible too, like Linksdot. Well, where are the Linksdot miners? Every month they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to delay it a month and another month. And honestly, that's been one of the most frustrating things in helium mining over the last year. It's become so popular and so profitable that everybody was trying to get into it. The barrier to entry is really low. Like, it plugs into a normal wall outlet. Again, no noise, no heat, easy to use, whatever. You are restricted, generally speaking, to one per location, one per house pretty much. So in my point of view, it's like, why wouldn't everyone just get one, right? And well, a lot of other people thought that way as well, and they've been heavily ordered. The Helium network is approaching 1 million miners deployed. That's insane. More miners deployed, the less helium you will be mining. However, it means the network is bigger, and a network that is bigger is more useful, has more utility, and is just more valuable. So that is one of the reasons why I'm very bullish on HNT Helium, because even though I'm getting less HNT than ever before, I personally think we're going to be looking at a 10, 20x, possibly a 30x, right, from current price valuations. It's not financial advice. You do whatever you want to do. I can tell you that I am continuing to deploy helium miners when I can, where I can, with what devices I can. regardless of light hotspots and changes potentially to the mechanism and more hotspot miners coming onto the network and whatever else. I'm super bullish. I have a lot of fun with this, and I keep it simple. So if I buy a miner, I try to stack up enough coins to break even on it. I will sell those coins for dollars if I pay dollars for it, and then I'll stack up the coins that I'm mining. And when I stack these coins up, I'm hoping and dreaming and waiting for a new all-time high, sweet mega cycle. Let's go. And then I'll take some profits or do whatever I want to do, or maybe even utilize those coins with their network if they build out some utility that applies to me. For example, I mine Ethereum, and I use a lot of my Ethereum just participating on the Ethereum network and blockchain, using DeFi, decentralized finance, dApps, decentralized applications, making decentralized trades and yield farming and all that kind of crazy stuff. And I'd love to see more things like that deployed on the Helium blockchain. But I also understand, and you probably know too, or if you don't, Helium is not an Ethereum competitor, right? They're building out a different type of infrastructure. Speaking of that, they continue to move towards and pivot towards 5G. And with 5G, that's $1 trillion industry. Look at all your cell providers. All they're talking about lately is 5G this, 5G that, 5G in-home internet, whatever else. And some of these helium hotspot manufacturers, like we just got the Bobber 500 in with 5G support, and we have the Freedom Fi that supports 5G as well. Like, this is crazy. This is going to be such an insane opportunity. Like, even just as a user, but also if you're the one building out a 5G network and it becomes grossly lucrative, right? You're going to get huge rewards from that data consumption with the way their model is built up, if your spots are being actually utilized. But what do you think is going to happen to Helium's valuation when they become the leading provider for 5G coverage, right? Have you ever looked up how much Verizon, AT&T, or even T-Mobile's worth? Spoiler, it's a lot.
Hey guys, it's Ms. Vosk here to tell you about Pionex, which is an exchange platform that also offers multiple cryptocurrency trading bots, including a dollar cost averaging bot, rebalancing, smart trading, and more. They have 346 tokens available with only 0.05% in trading fees. Pionex says they have over 100 million trades per day with a trading volume of over $5 billion per month. We've done a couple tutorial and reviews of Pionex in the past and found success using their trading bots. Check out the link in the video description below to learn more about Pionex. This is not financial advice.
So the way I think of it, basically, like looking forward, I'm super bullish on Helium and kind of where they're going. But some things honestly really suck. A lot of my miners have had downtime. Specifically, my COTX miners down right now. Some of my minted miners and rack miners, a couple of those I got through CalChip, they're down right now. My Synchro bit never really worked right. My Lynx dot is down. So unfortunately, there is like a lot of troubleshooting involved to keep all your stuff up. And what's bad is that you only have one at your house. So you're gonna have all these other miners at your friend's house, relatives, or business partners, or some dude you met across the county, and you pay him a certain fee every month to have this device in his house, right? It depends how you kind of go about it and how many get deployed out there. But I'll be honest, like it gets annoying. It gets annoying. Something that was such a good experience in the beginning has become worse and worse as they deal with growing pains and just problems due to growth, right? The Helium network never went down in the beginning. Helium's network has gone down numerous times. That sucks. Nothing fun about that. And that means that the valuation goes down, like the price goes down for the coin. You can't use it. You can't move your coins around. You're not mining, obviously, because the network's down. You never get compensated or anything. It's not like, hey, we're going to shoot out these coins to people impacted. But how do you really deal with that as well? Like, you have inflation, right? And you're a voluntary participant in what everyone always labels as like a beta product. Helium continues to make choices that aren't really in the best interest of their actual mining community, in my opinion. So for example, now all of the Helium hotspot manufacturers are supposed to be coming out with their own apps. Why the do I want 30 goddamn apps? I don't at all. Not even in the slightest, right? I want one Helium app that functions as my wallet, and I also control my hotspots out of. Helium has endless money. Google has been backing them from the beginning. They have a ridiculous valuation and, public, private and public funding. Obviously, their token valuation, they take a huge cut of every Helium block. Basically, they endlessly get a ton of Helium coins, if you don't know that. And they can't dedicate a world star team to bring me a just top tier app experience, from under their own flag and brand. Again, I don't want multiple apps at all. I don't even care about these unique features. If anything, they should all be kind of bundled into the main app, and Helium should be working in conjunction with the manufacturers because they're supposed to be vetting them and they maintain this control over the ecosystem, not letting us DIY miners. They should be bringing us a better experience a la Apple, right? But this pales even comparison to Android. And I'm sure I hurt some feelings right there. And to be honest, I'm glad. Oh yeah. I got an iPhone because I'm busy and I like my stuff to work. And I think Android sucks. And I hate texting my friends that are green. And look, iMessage is a good experience. I don't care what you, I don't hear any rebuttals. I'm done. We're done. We're not talking about this anymore. I'm going to start giving away some new Helium miners. Please let me know your VoskCoin Talk username as a comment on this video, and comment what your favorite Helium hotspot miner is, or what you think it would be, or what you'd really want as a giveaway on the VoskCoin Talk forum. I'll drop a thread, real easy, free to enter, and we'll go from there. If you don't complete both steps though, you won't be eligible. It's pretty crazy doing this for over a year and watching all the changes in growth and whatever else. A year in cryptocurrency feels like 10 years in any other sector, especially for such new and emerging technology. Would I still get into helium mining today if I wasn't into it all? Me personally, yes, but the pitch is not as aggressive or lucrative as it was a year ago. And that's good and bad, right? You're going to be on a slower and steadier route instead of maybe this will do really well or maybe it's going to tank. The return potential is much lower, but the returns are also still high. And again, it's less speculative, and it's more established than ever. But personally, for what this coin is offering and building out, I think it's cheap. We have meme coins worth billions and billions of dollars. Just don't forget that. This has real world utility and a use case and a very unique just infrastructure setup and coin distribution model and kind of grassroots funding initiative here. Maybe I'm just meshing a bunch of words together at this point. Basically, helium mining is pretty cool. And even if I wasn't into it, I would still start today. I wouldn't jump in with 10 miners. Just get one, use the antenna it comes with, put it in your house. Don't do a crazy deployment of an antenna on your roof, and just get started. If you think it's cool, you start to get into it, right? Put an antenna on your roof and connect it to your helium miner. And then you're like, oh, okay, here we go. Now we're talking. I want another one. Then get another one, okay? And put it at someone else's house and build your helium mining empire. All in all, I've had a blast mining helium over the last year. It has been a really good experience. There definitely has been ups and downs, and I speak definitely beyond just the HNT price. Absolutely loving it, still having fun, still bullish. I'm not capitulating. If anything, I'm looking for more places to deploy helium miners. But on that subject, be careful kind of what you do, and if you're partnering with buddies and whatever else, if you're bullish, it doesn't mean that they will be, and that can just lead to a lot of conflict. It can sour relationships, and all in all, honestly, I found that most ventures in life are best suited for just yourself only. However, if you're looking for the best helium mining community to connect with, I recommend you join the VoskCoin Discord server. There's about 40,000 wild helium miners in there that will get you situated with, how to set it up, troubleshooting, port forwarding if you still need to do that, whatever else. Very easy and simple stuff if it even applies to you. And you can even just have fun, share pictures of your setup with the community. Obviously, we have the VoskCoin Talk forum as well, and on there we have the best helium mining resource in the world. And I didn't create that. That's not a showboat for me. KTP put that together. It is a wealth of, it is a bottomless pit of helium information. It's really cool, and I absolutely encourage you to check that out. If nothing else, there's so much information there. It's insane. So yeah, still having fun, still doing it, still bullish long term. And a lot of people always want to be like, well, how much did you make? Well, look, dude, honestly, I made a lot of money mining helium. It's been super lucrative. I'm not bragging or whatever, but like that's a common question asked. It's been very profitable, and I still have my miners because I believe it to be currently profitable, and continue to be profitable. Right? These devices, depending on which one you buy, when and where, let's just say they cost like $500. They're basically free to run, and they don't do anything. And even if you're just making a couple bucks a day, right? Even if it takes you an entire year to break even, in the world of investments and ROIs, that's an incredible return. And you're mining something, in my opinion, it's pretty cheap right now. So, hey, as always though, the best advice I can give you, because nothing's financial advice, is that I advise you to hit that subscribe button and join me on this crazy helium mining journey and everything else. We'll have more helium mining videos here soon, and I actually am going to start deploying some wild, like super tall antenna helium deployments here over the next year, which is really fun. We purchased 100 acres to build out a mining farm and basically have like a crypto fantasy factory, and that's beyond just a kind of what you would think of a traditional mining farm, but also like I'm gonna build the tallest tower I can and put an antenna on it and hook up a helium miner, and I'm gonna point it at DC, and I'm gonna soak up all that helium. Yeah, that's the master plan. Don't steal it unless we're gonna connect our towers, and that starts to sound weird. And on that note, I'm done. You have a good night.